Nissan Motor Company is stepping up its global electrification blitz by adding a pure EV version of the Sentra small sedan in China as it targets global sales of 1 million electrified vehicles in 5 years. Called the Selfie Zero Emission, it will be the first made-in-China EV sold by the Japanese brand in the world's biggest auto market. The Sentra is sold as a Selfie in China. Nissan earlier introduced a version of the first-generation Leaf EV in China, but that car was sold under the Nissan Dongfeng joint venture's entry-level domestic Venucia brand. Nissan said it has no immediate plans to launch EV versions of the Selfie in other markets where it sold other varying nameplates, including North America. The Selfie EV shares a platform with the flagship Leaf. It will get a locally sourced 38 kWh battery, compared with the Leaf's 40 kWh power pack. Styling cleaves close to the regular Selfie sedan, with tweaks such as a closed grille to differentiate it as battery-driven. The new car, unveiled Wednesday at the Beijing Motor Show, will deliver a range of 210 miles under China's rating system. Nissan will also introduce the redesigned Leaf in China. Both cars go on sale here this year and are two of 4 EVs Nissan is directing at China, including 2 for Venucia. Aiming to stay at the forefront of the electrified vehicle race, Nissan plans to launch 8 new EVs globally and hit annual sales of 1 million electrified vehicles in 5 years. Nissan said, some 20 electrified models, including EVs and models using the company's e-POWER extended range hybrid setup, are earmarked for China in the next 5 years. Jose Munoz, Nissan's chief performance officer and China chairman said, "We're unleashing a new era of EVs in China, providing Chinese customers with electrified products that are safer, more stable and offer a better customer experience." It speaks to our ambition to become China's EV leader. Nissan's growth strategy focuses on heavy investment in 3 pillars: electrification, autonomous driving and connectivity. Bold electrification goals comprise the bulk of the new targets, as Nissan steps up its response to an onslaught of new entrants in the EV segment. For example, Japanese arch rival Toyota Motor Corporation said last fall it would launch 10 electric vehicles by the early 2020s and sell 5.5 million electrified vehicles, including hybrids and hydrogen fuel cell vehicles, by 2030. This month, Germany's Volkswagen AG said it will expand EV production to 16 factories worldwide by 2022 and make up to 3 million a year by 2025. Nissan's sales goal of 1 million electrified vehicles by March 31, 2023, includes pure electrics and hybrids. The tally will get a boost from the introduction of Nissan's new e-POWER setup, a range extender hybrid system it is already selling in Japan and will next bring to other markets. Sales of vehicles equipped with e-POWER are expected to account for more than half the total. Nissan said, electrification is expected to blossom quickly in Japan and Europe, and more slowly in the US and China. But it will account for a much bigger slice of sales everywhere. In Japan and Europe, electrified vehicles are expected to account for up to half of Nissan's sales by 2025. In the US, they are expected to be between 20 to 30%. And in China, between 35 and 40%.
The 2019 Subaru Forester officially revealed at the 2018 New York International Auto Show. The 5th-generation Subaru SUV will come in standard, premium, limited, and touring trims, along with a new sport trim. The manufacturer claims that this new addition to the SUV family is based on the company's latest global platform, SGP. All-new Subaru Forester is powered by 2.5-liter 4-cylinder boxer engine which is 90% new, compared to the previous 2.5-liter unit. The plant makes 182 horsepower and 176 pounds-ft of torque supported by the standard Lean-Artronic Cove. Subaru comes with Driver Focus, which is a monitoring system that uses facial recognition software to recognize signs of fatigue or distraction. The system can also identify up to 5 drivers and their presets for seat position, infotainment, and climate. Besides, the car also packs features such as adaptive cruise control, sway warning, collision throttle management, LED vehicle start alert, automatic pre-collision braking, lane departure, and lane keep assist. Additional features are blind spot detection, rear cross traffic alert, reverse automatic braking and lane change assist. The higher trim packages have steering responsive headlights, trailer stability assist, and high beam assist. You will find non-safety techs such as Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, Bluetooth capability, phone connectivity, audio streaming, and Sirius XM. There are a built-in and voice-activated navigation system and 8-inch, high-resolution touchscreen. The car is available in 3 colors: Jasper Green Metallic, Horizon Blue Pearl, and Crimson Red Pearl. The all-new Subaru Forester will go on sale in the US later this year, and it is expected to be available for European buyers before the end of 2018.
Depending on where you live, one of the biggest challenges with electric cars can be airport runs. They tend to be an hour away, or sometimes more. Involve lots of rain-sucking highway driving, often in the wee, dark hours of the morning or pitch-dark night. Many don't offer chargers, and the car may sit for a day or several while you're away. Then when you get back, range anxiety is the last thing you want when you're trying to get home. So when we had a chance to drive a new 2018 Nissan Leaf on a week that involved flying out for the weekend, it seemed a perfect opportunity to put the Leaf to the test. Our test car was a Scarlet Ember Red 2018 Leaf SL, with the technology package, which includes Nissan's new ProPilot Assist feature, which promises nearly full self-driving on the highway. Its full sticker came in at $38,510. We needed to make a trip out of town for 2 days, flying out of tiny Westchester Airport outside New York City. It's only 37 miles from home by major highways, which seemed like it should pose no challenge for the Leaf's rated 151-mile range driving back and forth, with plenty of extra to account for the few miles it might lose sitting over the weekend. It was also clear, though, that to catch a 6 a.m. flight, driving on the highway in the dark after a night that had dipped below freezing, I would use more than the 37 miles of range that we'd actually be driving. So headed off, a little after 4 in the morning, about 20 minutes after we'd planned. To make up for lost time, of course, we set the cruise control on the dark highway to just shy of 80 mph, bearing in mind that with a trip home 2 days later, we'd have to watch the mileage to make sure we didn't burn through more than half, to leave some margin for the trip home, especially considering that the trip to the airport is mostly downhill hills we'd need to go back up to get home. This shouldn't have been a problem. The cruise control button on the Leaf is labeled with blue, offset concentric circles, using Nissan's ProPilot Assist logo. Turning it on automatically activates the full suite of ProPilot Assist functions, dynamic cruise control and lane guidance. Forward collision warning with automatic emergency braking is always on. You can deactivate the steering assistance using another button low on the left side of the dashboard. As you drive, you can feel the system tugging at the wheel as you try to keep the car centered in the lane, but ProPilot Assist does a better job than most at keeping the car between the lines without weaving down the lane like a bowling ball between kiddie bumpers. If you keep too light a touch on the steering wheel, though, it will trigger an alert and eventually shut off the steering assist, thinking your hands aren't on the wheel. Its interpretation that you aren't paying attention. We found it overly worrisome, nagging us like an overbearing nanny, and eventually turning its back. When you change lanes using the turn signals, the auto steering stands down and lets you move. Strangely, The car beeps when the system picks up the new lane lines and re-engages. It would make more sense to us if it beeped to let you know it when exceeded control. The steering itself did deliver better feedback and weight than the original Leafs did, though, and we enjoyed diving into corners and feeling the car grip as the battery weight kept it comparatively level. When we left home, with a full charge, the car showed 138 miles of range, so budgeting for the trip home, we kept an eye out for when the car approached about 75 miles of range, to leave a little margin. Very little as it turned out. At the exit before we needed to get off the highway for the airport, the car showed 78 miles of range. It's another 6 miles to the exit, so we slowed down and shut off the heat, not wanting to hit that magic halfway mark on the battery and get stranded a few miles from home on the way back. In the airport parking lot, it showed 72 miles, and with no electric car chargers at the airport, we worried all weekend about the uphill slope on the way back. In the end, we needn't have worried. Alternate back roads to and from the airport are scenic and relaxing, and much less straining on the battery. The evening was warmer too, and we didn't need the heater on the way home. We took the highway about halfway home, to reach the most scenic back roads and set the ProPilot Assist to just short of 70 mph for big energy savings. Reaching home, the car showed 53 miles left on the battery, about what we expected before we left. It returned a not-so-good 2.9 miles per kilowatt efficiency for the trip. Two morals stand out from this story, though. If you're driving an electric car, leave plenty of time so you don't have to rush and burn range unnecessarily. And don't worry so much whether electric cars can do what you need to do. It's usually pretty obvious ahead of time when they can't.